some transfer stories to start with. And I wanted to start with Liverpool, actually, on tonight's show. A big story I read earlier on today, and I want to read you this here. It says Liverpool are prepared to make a move this summer for what they consider to be the world-class Bayern Munich forward, Kingsley Coman.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
This link's come out today. You're not too keen on him like your club are? 28 years old, experience, won everything. What's wrong with Kingsley Coman?
There are certain clubs on the planet who don't sell their best players.
Is it a colour thing? I mean, well, come on, tell us. What's the problem here?
It's an injury thing.
He's French, isn't he? So
it's a fucking injury thing more than anything. There's certain clubs that don't sell their best players. Real Madrid, or unless they want to go, and that's like your Real Madrids of this world, your Bayern Munichs of this world. So if they're willing to let Kingsley Coman go, which they have been for about 4 seasons now, why would I want him? They're clearly trying to push him out the door, and he's not going. We need that. There are wingers on the market. This could be a really good summer to address the wing situation, especially I think left wing. As much as I'm not the biggest fan of Diaz, he's had a decent season, so you do need an element of quality to upgrade on him. Coleman is not enough. I'm doing Chiesa again.
Tom, do we agree or do we not agree that he's a good player? Let's start there first.
No,
is he a good player?
I don't think he's a good enough player at this point. At this point in time, no, he's not a good enough winger.
Now, the only real issue of Kingsley is his injuries, man. Maybe your fitness regime might be able to manage it. You never know.
The man's needs 29. He's older than Diaz, I think.
Okay,
I want to get younger than Diaz.
Experience.
I don't need experience. My squad has all the experience it needs.
The highest amount of goals he scored in the season is 8.
Big game player.
8.
Multiple trophies.
Kingsley, stop trying to sell me Coleman. We're going to talk in about 10 minutes about Morgan Rodgers.
Positives.
Or Pedro Porro.
Oh my God. Every single time. I don't want Pedro Porro. I'd rather have no right back. But we're going to talk in 10 minutes about Morgan Rodgers. That's the type of season, though, going for.
He's starting in the 25 starts he's had this season. 9 goals and assists, 11 big chances created. You know, there is output in this player, and at the end of the day, you need to bring in additional output. And I think you could get Coleman at a decent price. I think
Isn't it free?
Is he free?
I think his contract's over this season.
If he's free, you got to be doing it.
No,
I'd take him for free.
No, I don't.
He's also on 250 grand a week.
Why would I sign Coleman?
Why not?
Because he's not good enough.
No, his contract expires in 2 years' time, in 2027.
There are Rodrygo. This week, the reporter that Rodrygo wants to leave. Morgan Rodgers, they'll have PSR concerns.
But you're not that club. But you're not that club. Let's have it right. Listen, I know you're not going to like me for saying this, but let's be honest about Liverpool.
Right.
And but this is, you guys boast about this. So this is not Terry Flewers being salty. You know, we've all seen the viral video from Rants where he just says you guys that don't have Paul like that. That isn't what I'm saying. You guys, even though you're a local wall, you as a Liverpool fan have said this to me on shows. Liverpool fans boast about this to the cows come home. We don't buy superstars, we make them. So you are not going to go and get Rodrygo. He's a superstar. It literally goes against the makeup of your club. I just don't think you're going to do that. Coleman for me is, by the way, Coleman isn't a star you can make. Coleman looks like those signings that you've made before, like the Thiagos and the like, where experience, slightly older. You're not bringing him in to be the mainstay in the first team. He'll be part of the squad, used here and there. But with his ability, his impact from the bench could be massive next season. And if you could get him in on a decent amount of money, right? Because he knows Bayern want rid of him, right? If he's willing to move and you can get him for a decent fee, 30, 35 million euros, he could be an amazing.
I genuinely feel like I'm getting gaslit on this stream. Why would I want Coleman comes in as my third choice left winger? The one position.
Behind who? Behind whom?
Diaz and Gakpo.
Nah, Diaz is going. Diaz is going. He's better than Diaz. He's better than Diaz.
He's not better than Diaz. He's not better than Diaz. I don't even like Diaz and he's not better than Diaz. I don't even like Diaz and he's not better than Diaz.
You don't like Diaz,
but he's not better. I don't like Diaz, but there is still a bare minimum that I want to replace him.
Tom, don't do that. You know
Diaz has done better than Coleman in every measurable statistic this year.
And he's got huge injury problems.
And he's younger. And he doesn't have the same injury problems
that
Coleman does. There's no reason for me to go for Coleman.
Samir here, one of our viewers, has said, "Can you afford the 150 million for Rodrygo? Will you pay that?"
No, but I don't. I mean, I'd be very shocked if that's the asking price, considering the reports. If that's the asking price, you're not going to pay it, and I agree.
No one's going to pay 150 million for
But
Rodrygo.
I don't think that will be the asking price if they want to move him on.
Yeah, how much? How much? He's going to be under. He's going to be between 80 and 100 million, though, isn't he?
I'd pay that for him if I can sell Diaz.
Okay.
If I can sell Diaz, I'd buy Rodrygo.
Let's slow down again just for a bit of conversation. I know you would do it, Tom. Right? You would, but you don't like food, right? So things that you do in life compared to the rest of us are different. Will FSG, Will Edwards sign off on, say, let's meet in the middle here on 90 million pounds plus 300,000 pound a week to sign Rodrygo? Or is it more likely, if they want some experience, that they would look at a player like Kingsley Coman? Look at your club, how you operate, the way Edwards operates. Which one do you think is actually more likely, brother?
Rodrygo.
Okay.
That's how unlikely Coman is.
Okay.
If we're going by the standards that Liverpool set, the one that they signed Thiago once, that's the only time they've broken from it, and that Thiago was the best midfielder. He just won man of the match in the Champions League final. Like I think he's in a different class at this point to Kingsley Coman with his 5 goals. Like
8
Thiago
goals
was still
in the league in the last 2 seasons.
Wait, didn't Coman score the goal in that final?
Yeah,
and Thiago got man of the match. And also, I'm not signing Kingsley Coman of 2020. I'm signing Kingsley Coman of 2025.
16 goals in the league in 3 seasons at Bayern Munich. 16.
How many games?
That's across 49, 64.
How many games has this man missed from injury in the last 2 seasons?
Yeah, don't worry about that. Your medical team is brilliant, bro. Don't worry about it. But I just think you're making all these excuses to not sign Coleman when I think you're sort of, what's the expression? You're sort of you're hitting a gift horse in the mouth.
He's missed 30 games. That's near on a full Premier League season.
In his career, that's not bad.
No, in the last 2 seasons. I've already made the mistake of buying.
Where's your source? Where's your source? Where's your source?
Transfer market?
No, put it on the screen and prove it. I don't believe you. I don't think you're telling the truth.
Fine.
He spent 47 days in the 2021 season injured. He missed 6 games. 19-20, he missed 12. 18-19, he missed 28.
Oh, what's this done to me?
He's missed 110 games for injury at Bayern Munich.
So from that point, you've got 1, 2.
Why is it doing this? Sorry, keep speaking, mate. Sorry.
You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 13, 14, 22, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 30 games in the last 2 seasons.
That's only league, though. You're not counting Champions League or anything else.
No. That those are the on transfer market. It just shows total games that they've missed in a season. When you look at their injury record, it does that. But yeah, listen, I think you've been a little harsh. I really do. Eric here says if Rodrygo leaves, I see him at City. I mean, there is a big possibility that Rodrygo leaves this summer. All seriousness, I by the way, I agree with you. I'm just winding you up about the Coman thing. I think Liverpool should avoid Kingsley Coman like the plague. I really, really do personally.
He's an Arsenal type winger. That's what that's his level. No,
maybe. But where do you guys see Rodrygo? Where do you guys see Rodrygo going? Can you see him in the Premier League?
Yeah, I think he might City or Arsenal.
Arsenal.
I don't think he'll come to the Premier League.
Why is that funny, Tom? Explain why that's funny.
Rodrygo enjoying Arsenal.
No, but why wouldn't he? Why not?
That's not an argument, Tom.
Exactly.
Arsenal's left wing situation.
If he leaves Real Madrid, where is he gonna go?
PSG.
The Prem, or maybe what, Bundesliga?
He's not. If he leaves Real Madrid, he comes to the Premier League and he comes to either Manchester City or Liverpool. Yeah.
I don't think
they're the 2 clubs.
But why not Arsenal?
Because Arsenal have bigger areas to address than left wing.
Hey, come on.
Why would Arsenal go spend 100 million quid on another left winger when they need a striker?
Because we've got Martin Ellis and Trossard as our wingers. Trossard's getting sold to Saudi in summer.
You've got left wingers. You've got good left wingers.
Getting sold at summer. Sterling's basically not existent, and also Martinelli ain't any good. So why wouldn't he?
In order for
Like,
You're looking at
it's pretty obvious. If he comes to Arsenal, he's going to start.
Yeah, but okay.
Comes
So
to
if he comes to
Liverpool, he start-
Arsenal, who are you selling?
Yeah, so why? I don't get why he wouldn't. Like, that's not even an option.
You'd
Don't
have to
make
sell
sense.
one of your current front three, and I don't think you're going to sell Martinelli.
We don't have to sell anyone, bro. We don't have to sell anyone. We need
Yeah,
competition.
but you
in that
can't.
front line.
If you're looking at
We're
adding
selling
a striker,
Trossard, we're selling Trossard.
okay,
we
so
basically
Trossard
not
will be the
got
one of those.
Jesus.
Okay,
We basically got no Jesus.
if you're talking about spending £300 million this window, or 250, we'll say, the war chest, which you've all seen, read 1,000 times, do you not think spending 100 million on the strikers are going to be a lot more beneficial?
But we don't need to spend 100 million on a striker. We can buy Gyökeres for 65 or whatever they say. Get Rodrygo for, I guess, I'm thinking under 100 personally, and we got change.
So
I know you don't want him.
If you're
I get it,
Rodrygo,
but
if
there's no
you
reason
are
that you can
if
keep
you're
him, like, can't come
Rodrygo,
to us. Fair
if
noise.
you're Rodrygo, which club do you pick?
Out of
Genuinely,
who and who?
no bias to it. Which club out of the 3 clubs that we think in the Premier League could buy him, do you look at and go, that's the best spot for me?
So
to
who are the
buy
3
him
clubs?
for
Arsenal,
Arsenal,
City.
City, Liverpool.
If you're picking City, let's just be brutally honest.
I don't know, but you lot are ruling out the pull of London as well. Like that's got nothing to do with it, and it has. You might laugh it off, but it has got something to do with it. And
Yeah,
we're
of course
challenging
it has.
right
But
now,
you're looking at City,
and we could potentially be in a Champions League final.
City have got the
Who knows?
worst
Win it,
wingers out of
win
the
it,
3
you
clubs
never know.
in terms of output.
Do you know what? Do you know what? I look at it this way, right? I think of if all 3 go into it seriously, I think City have the best chance. The finances, who their manager is, they'll have all of you will have an open spot for Rodrygo.
Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. Don's sitting there trying to bring Chelsea into this
Don't
argument.
entertain it. Don't entertain
Don's
it.
sitting here trying to walk in with
Tom,
Chelsea.
don't do it. Tom, don't do it, bro. Don't entertain it, please.
Don't let us get involved with Rodrygo. Listen, so none of you think Chelsea have got the ability to pull off Rodrygo?
Why have they joined Chelsea over any of these top 3 clubs that are ready to win the Premier League next season?
Kindergarten over there.
They're definitely paying the wages he wants, though.
He'll be the most experienced person there. He's not going there, man.
There's a lot more chance Chelsea paying him
Would he?
300 grand a week than
No, there isn't that. Well, maybe there is. Maybe there is, but maybe there isn't. Chelsea fans, like Don, spent the entirety of last summer swishing away any player that wanted more than 150 a week and doesn't fit our model, and they back that model. So Chelsea have got to break their entire structure to bring in a player like him. And the knock-on effect of that is what I'm really intrigued to see. By the way, they've got to do it. They should do it. I'm not saying that they shouldn't do it. But then you're going to have players going, hang on, though, I'm on 70, 80 grand a week, and I'm on 100 grand a week. And I know Rodrygo's won a lot. But look, on a real level, see, if we'll do all 4, if Chelsea are in the hunt as well, it quite simply goes in this order for me: City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea.
Facts.
And in fact, Chelsea, as bad as they've been in the last 3 years, have taken quite a few players off of.
Why are Arsenal above Liverpool?
Because
title.
Okay, if we're basing it purely on Paul, then you could put Liverpool above them. I'm also basing it on the fact that Liverpool, so I'm actually going to move Liverpool to 4th. Liverpool don't buy superstars. I don't see them paying the salary he'll demand and the wage. So that's part of the pool, part of your pool and attraction. When any of you apply for jobs, right? I could be the most reputable brand in the world, right? Oh, wow, look, everyone knows the football Terrace is amazing. Terry wants me to be a full-time host. What's he offering to pay you? Yeah, it's minimum wage, but I'm going to do it, right? There could be 2 or 3 other channels that are out there offering you 80, 90 grand a year. The going rate. That's not the going rate for a host of a YouTube channel, by the way. I'm just making that up, right? But I'm saying, right, you're not just going to go, I'm going to work for Terry because everyone loves his channel. You're going to take the money. You're going to take the money. By the way, when those other places are also attractive, let's not pretend Arsenal are not attractive. City are not amazingly attractive. And look, Chelsea have got Cucurella ahead of Manchester City. They have gone and got Lavia and Caicedo ahead of Liverpool. So as much as Don, we're laughing at him, it is not beyond the realms of possibility. The only thing stopping Chelsea is their wage structure. That's it. That's it.
I think.
And if they don't get Champions League, I don't think they got a hunt.
Yeah, no, that plays a big part as well. Like that's very true. If you're out of the Champions League, it diminishes it massively for a player like Rodrygo. But my order of the other three is City, Arsenal, Liverpool.
I think the thing with us, though, is we've had previous history with Rodrygo. He's come out and said that he very nearly joined us back in 2017 when he was a teenager, but he stayed in Brazil to stay with Santos. We've been big admirers of him for a number of years now. If he became available, I think he's one of the players that you would spend the football club would spend the money on, because not only do you get a top left winger for the next 2 years, there's your Salah replacement when he goes, and you can now go and get a different type of winger on the left, and you can put Rodrygo on the right and guarantee that you've got a top guy there, rather than, because we're in a tough spot with Salah, because you can't sell being the backup to Salah. No player wants that, because Salah doesn't get injured. So
would you be concerned on his output?
What Rodrygo's output
in terms of league goals? 6 goals in 30 games this season.
Not necessarily, because he's the one that's got to sacrifice his game to accommodate Vinicius and
but
Mbappe.
you could say the same about Bobby Firmino when you had Mane and when you had Salah, but he was still putting up good numbers.
The year we won the title, Bobby Firmino got 8 goals.
Is that all he got?
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
He didn't score at home until the last game of the season. I think
these
players have to sacrifice the game.
Yeah, you've also got to factor in as well. Rodrygo's playing on his weaker side, although he's phenomenal at it.
Exactly.
Vinicius has barely scored the second half this season. Real Madrid do have a system issue at the moment. It's kind of, since Mbappe's come in, it's crumbled. They have no ball playing midfielder in the middle. I think you put Rodrygo on the left-hand side in a team that's got a good structure. So Arsenal, City, Liverpool. I think there's the strong possibility that he doubles his output. But even this year, he's still creating anywhere between 1 to 2 chances per game for his team. So the creativity and everything's there. I think he would thrive. If you take Arsenal as an example, same as Liverpool with, can you imagine Saka and Rodrygo on either side? Can you imagine Salah or Rodrygo on either sides? It is a game changer. And those teams in those positions, by the way, if Liverpool pull it off, I'll just do nothing but say fair play to them. What Liverpool should be doing with their prize money from the Premier League this year is buying a player like him, is putting him at 24 years of age on 300 grand a week, bringing him straight in and saying, like, yes, Salah's here and he's the star, but you're the next in line. You have them on either side of your flank. Your chances of retaining the Premier League go through the absolute roof.
Do you know, he's one of the only 2 wingers that I want us to, because as much as I'll get on Diaz, I do think that he's shown there's a level of output there this year. So that was my big concern. So the amount of wingers I'd take to replace him now is lesser. Based on who could move this summer, there's only 2 guys on the market that I look at, and that's Rodrygo and Rodgers. So if Rodrygo becomes available, we should be going all out for him. If he isn't, then you go all out for Rodgers. If not, if neither of them 2 are available, I'm not against keeping Diaz for 1 more year. Because I don't think
is Rodgers' best position on the wing, by the way?
I think Morgan Rodgers is one of these unique players you can put anywhere across that front line, barred up front, and he's so important for the team. He's so dynamic with his dribbling. I think one of his best games this season was in the loss against you 2-0. When you beat them 2-0 at the start of the season, but he ran that game.
By the way,
he's playing in midfield in that game. He's playing in midfield in that game.
Just very quickly on Rodrygo, he's only on around 200,000. I say only, but for football, he's on £200,000 a week at the minute. So he's not on astronomical money. So you wouldn't have to maybe 300k is a little bit north of what you would have actually pay for him.